Hi everyone, Jennifer here. We are discussing my French weight loss secrets, the tips I learned while living in Paris on how to lose weight and maintain weight. When I lived with Madame Chic and I observed her, Madame Bohemienne, and all of the French men and women that I lived with and associated with in Paris, I noticed that none of them were overweight, and they all had a healthy weight. Now, I think it's important to mention that Madame Chic herself was not a stick figure skinny. She was not a skinny woman, but she certainly wasn't overweight. She had a very healthy weight. She had 5 children, so keep that in mind. And she just had a great figure. She was not obsessive about her weight, okay? Which is why you did not see her in her exercise clothes every day. But she just had a healthy attitude toward eating, and she had a great shape as a result of that. What did I learn from Madame Chic and my stay in Paris? Well, chapter 2 in Lessons from Madame Chic is called Deprive Yourself Not. And I love how there's a little cake there. So here's what I learned in Paris. This was the strange, what's the word? I can't think of the word. What am I thinking of? This was the strange thing. Everywhere I was going in Paris, at all of the dinner parties that I attended, the restaurants, everything like that, the food was decadent. I mean, Madame Chic's cooking was not low fat. They had rich cream sauces, cheeses, decadent desserts. And this was on a daily basis. So I'm thinking, how are these people not overweight? How is this possible, right? The reason why it's possible is because they didn't deprive themselves. When they are met with a meal, and that's why much of my cooking today is not necessarily, low-fat cooking. When they are met with a meal, they sit down at table and chairs with their family for conversation with, proper etiquette and the napkins and the silverware, and there's no TV on. It's an event, and they enjoy their meal. The portion sizes, which is a whole other video, and I know many of you have asked about that, I'll get to that, are not enormous, right? They're just regular portion sizes, and they just enjoy that meal. There's no seconds necessarily. I mean, you could pass around the plate a second time of whatever it is, ratatouille or whatever they're serving. But you don't really need seconds, because when you're eating consciously, when you're eating in a nice, elegant, civilized environment, when you're talking to people and it's a ritual, you haven't been snacking all day, so you're hungry, you appreciate the meal, you don't need anything else. You don't need to deprive yourself. You can enjoy that dessert. You can enjoy that rich meal because you're eating it in moderation and in a way that's controlled. And I think that's a major tip. Deprive yourself not. Everybody had a healthy attitude toward food. Over here in America anyway, when you have a decadent meal, right? Everyone will groan. They'll say, oh, how many calories are in this? Oh my goodness, I need to hit the gym tomorrow. I'm going to be so fat. Everybody just gets so dramatic over decadent food. Whereas in France, what I noticed, the conversation was always positive toward food. They would say, oh, this is delicious. Where are these raspberries from? Or are these, they would discuss the recipe or how the sauce was made. It was all positive. It wasn't negative. So over here, we're already, condemning ourselves to gaining 10 pounds just for eating this one meal. Whereas over there, they're talking about the merits of the meal and that. So that is a huge component of depriving yourself not. So let's recap. If you sit down for your meals, make them a special event, dinner with the family every night, TV turned off, no phones at the table. You're all talking to each other, having a nice, positive conversation about the food. You're eating the food in reasonable portion sizes, and you're present while you're eating it. You're not shuffling, eating it while you're watching television so that you're not conscious, which might make you take seconds or thirds, by the way. And you have a positive attitude about it. deprive yourself not. Enjoy the food. Because I'm telling you, there was nobody who was overweight over there, and we had decadent dinners. Okay, that was part 2 of my French weight loss secrets. I will see you for part 3 on Friday, where we discuss how exercise is a part of everyday life. See you then.